Hey everybody, welcome back. Fuck. To Issue Crew Movie Reviews. Woo! We're doing it. It's here.
Welcome back to Epic Rap Battles of Issue Crew.
Epic
Today
rap
is
battles of Issue Crew.
Demi versus Riely. Begin.
So gamers, as you just heard, I am your host Riley, the man who just got pranked by a Pepsi commercial.
What?
And joining
How did
me
you get?
today.
How did you get pranked by a Pepsi commercial?
I'll explain that in a minute. Joining me today is Demigloom.
Yo, what up? Demetria. Back in the Beatria with the Cetria. Call me that Litria, Ketria, Fetria, Nitria, Ketria, Litria, Beatria.
So apparently there's a certain meme about a certain disgusting drink mixture. And
Are you talking about
Pepsi-
Mepsi?
What
Did
is
you try?
Pepsi?
Did you try Mepsi?
What the fuck is Pepsi?
It's milk mixed with Pepsi.
No, they call that Pilk, not
No,
Mepsi.
it's Mepsi, not fucking Pilk,
It's
you idiot.
fucking
It's
Pilk,
Mepsi.
bro.
No, it is literally Mepsi. It's Party Rock is in the house tonight. How many times do I have to tell you?
No, it's Party Rockers in the house tonight, man.
No, you're right. It's true.
No, I think it is Party Rockers. I did try
No,
Pilk,
it's
by
no,
the way.
it's no, it is Party Rockers. That is the actual lyrics. I thought it was Party Rock is too. And I thought people who thought it was Party Rockers was stupid, but it is Party Rockers in the house tonight.
Yeah, I've made terrible decisions.
So you tried Pilk.
I did try the Pilk.
Get Kathy out of here.
She
Why are
said
you
she was
guys still
gonna-
recording? Yeah,
She
shut
said
the
she was
fuck
gonna
up.
join muted, so I'll only kick her if I find reason to.
Okay. This feels awkward. Like if this feels like, even though it's obvious it's being recorded and uploaded, like when I talk to you, it just feels like a private conversation until it's
Why?
uploaded. I don't.
Why?
It just feels weird having a live audience. That's always something that's been strange for me. At least
Oh
if
well,
I
like
wasn't,
it's
if I'm not
awkward to
expecting it.
have Kathy here
Yeah.
and not have her be a part of it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh
Anyways.
God, this is gross.
Wait. So are you drinking it right now?
Yeah.
What the hell,
Listen,
dude? Okay.
I wasted a bunch of milk to make this happen. I'm not gonna be able to live with myself if I don't fucking drink this shit. So this is what I'm drinking.
You realize that it's a troll, right? People saying they love Mepsi or Pilk or whatever the fuck you call it. They're trolling you, right?
I did a Google just after fucking Pepsi tricked me with the fucking. They did a commercial.
Did
Wait,
they do
hold
a
on.
commercial?
No.
Kathy, shut the fuck up.
Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, put Coke in milk. It tastes really good.
I already did.
Wait, you did Coke?
Trying to trick me doesn't work.
Wait, did you do Coke, Riley?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Kathy. Anyway, we're talking about fucking Malcolm in the Middle today.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah,
I want the Pilk review.
it's bad.
See, okay. Now here's the very, very predictable hot take. But my hot take on the situation, I tried it myself, I knew I did it for the lulz, okay? Honestly, not that bad. It tastes kind of like a root beer float. You just have to have like much more Pepsi than milk. You need to have like 20% milk. If you do 50-50, it's fucking gross.
Mine is like 70-30 in the direction of milk. I did it very
Oh god, that's awful.
I could put more Pepsi in there.
Oh, by the way, fuck
To
you.
counteract it.
Secret boss Walter Black is scheduled.
Yo! Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It's not good. It's I guess it's passable as a Demi and the Goons video, which
Like, it's
is a pretty low
alright.
bar. Literally, anytime I try to upload something that isn't Breaking Bad, even like DS OSTs, they're getting like no views. It's so sad. I thought for sure people would like the epic rap battles of history DS OST.
Yeah.
It's
I did not listen to it, so I don't know.
The what is a woman DS OST? I thought that was gonna be a hit too. But no, people just want Breaking Bad and American Psycho. That's it.
That's all they want. That's all they need, really.
More people are watching the Earl ones than I expected.
That's right. Let's go.
Which isn't very many, but still more than I
Low
expected.
bar,
Like they're getting like 500 views each. Pretty good.
Man, I've been thoroughly memed. Why did
Yeah.
Pepsi do a commercial about this?
I have no idea.
It's so mean.
Doesn't it taste almost like minty in a really weird way?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this is a little bit unrelated, but this is something that's crossed my mind a lot lately. There's something that connects the two flavors, the flavors of root beer and mint. Mint doesn't taste like root beer, and root beer doesn't taste like mint, but there's like a common ancestor there, and I'm trying to get down to you know what I mean?
You're trying to find the family history
Yeah.
that connects the two.
You know what I mean, though?
I suppose I see what you're saying.
They're like lizards and turtles. You know what I mean? Like two completely different things, but like clearly, like something is like
Clearly,
connecting the
there's
two.
something there. Yes.
Yeah, there's clearly something that's present in both of them. I can't figure out what it is, but mint and root beer have a big part of it is the aftertaste, like the way my mouth feels afterward. But they're like two different, like the aftertaste is like two different flavors of the same like chemical concoction. It's very weird.
That is very strange. Yes.
I fucking love doing podcasts with you, Riley. We just get like we're good at this. We're good at just talking about random shit.
We're
This
not
is
good
like-
at talking about the topic at hand.
Yeah, and then we'll have like super entertaining like 30-minute conversations about like something completely unrelated. Or like, all right, let's get back on track, and then it's just like awkward silence the whole time. And it's just like, oh yeah, it was a TV show, but whatever. Fuck it, we're doing it. Malcolm in the Middle, season
Malcolm
1.
in the Middle.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Season 1. Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's right. You wanna give us yep, gonna try that again. All right. English speaking words in 3, 2, 1. You want to tell us a little bit about the premise of this show, just like a brief paragraph summary? Before we jump into it.
So basically,
There's a guy named Malcolm.
That exact bit. There's this kid named Malcolm. You know, he's
and where is he? Oh, he's in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah. No, it's so Malcolm in the Middle is a sitcom that it's about a family who we don't know their last name. They make an effort to not present that in the show.
I thought I had seen it somewhere attached to Hal.
Yeah, there is a canon last name, but they make an effort to hide it in the show.
It's Wilkerson, right?
Yeah, it's Wilkerson.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they say it like one time in like season 6 or some shit. I don't remember exactly how they did it, but like they did reveal it at some point, like super like nonchalant. Anyways, yeah, I guess it feels weird even saying that. Like, yes, the Wilkersons. Our family.
It's
like,
such
no,
a weird name.
I never referred
like,
to that.
Sitcom families always have like hard-hitting last names. You can't explain why, but it's like the last names work. Somebody did their research on like just how this last name feels. Like,
right.
Tanner and Full House. You're into that last name. Good last name.
The Tanners.
The Tanners. The Chances in Raising Hope. Good last name.
I'll use my credit card. My name's Tanner.
But yeah, a lot of sitcom families have pretty good last names, but Wilkerson,
I'm not really. But they never say the last name, so it's not a problem. So there's a family. I guess. Do you want to take turns just describing the characters? I think that's the best thing we can do here.
Well, I mean, we can do all that all we want. What I'm asking you for, what we always start this podcast with traditionally, is just like a paragraph about the general premise.
Yeah, well, the premise is there's a family.
There's a family. That's
there's a family. Okay, so this is the IMDb description of every sitcom ever. It's like it's about a dysfunctional family who that experience wacky shenanigans.
Whoa.
But I guess Malcolm in the Middle is not your traditional sitcom, though, right? There are many. Yeah. It lacks many of the cliches and like traditions, and all rejects them altogether. Like, first of all, there's no laugh track. That was actually a controversy in the development of the show. Like the creator, I believe it was the creator, Linwood Boomer, said that he was like adamant about there being no laugh track, and people at Fox wanted him to have a laugh track. It's very cynical. Like the family has a very realistic outcome every time. It's not like super uplifting like every other sitcom is. Like every sitcom, like an episode of like Full House will end with like everybody like hugging it out and being like, "Oh, I guess I learned my lesson today." Whereas these characters actually they do develop over time, but it's not like every single episode there's like a super happy ending. It's much more realistic than that. It's
Yeah,
very
for sure. It
realistic.
doesn't fit into like your average sitcom trope, like you just described, like a Full House or a Boy Meets World,
Yeah.
where like everything is always fine in the end.
Yeah.
Um,
They're also far from an ideal family, which has become much more common nowadays for like the wacky family. You know what I mean? But like, they're like insane. Like they're pretty crazy. They're not poor, right? They're like middle class. They live in a nice neighborhood, but
they're
like
like lower middle class.
they're like lower middle class and they're broke and financially like unstable. You know what I mean? Like their
Yeah,
standard of living isn't like ridiculously low, right? Like they got a decent house, they got a nice neighborhood, you know what I mean? But like at the same time, like they can't afford like the best groceries all the time. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
still eating like shit sometimes. But they're fine, you know what I mean? They're not like poverty strucken and like suffering and starving. They're not like food pantry poor. But they're definitely getting the short end of the stick with a lot of their life decisions. Part of it is probably because of reckless spending of like Hal and Lois and just like inability to create like safety nets financially and kind of living paycheck to paycheck even if they don't have to.
yeah.
And also having 3 kids.
Yep.
Four kids, yeah. Four, hey, that's a company.
Can we discuss something real quick right off the bat that I noticed about this show?
What?
Malcolm is not a middle child. For Malcolm to
Oh
be the
yeah, he's
middle
not.
child, there would have to be a fifth child.
No, there would have to not be. Oh yeah, I guess yeah, you're right. It would have to be an odd number of children.
Yes.
Um,
In which case Malcolm would be the middle child because he'd have 2 younger and 2 older. So yes,
yes.
if there were a baby, which I feel like there has to be. Don't spoil for me whether it happens or not, but like we all know every sitcom that runs more than like 4 years has a baby at some point.
That is a very common occurrence. Yeah, no, Malcolm is definitely. Well, I think what they're going
Someday
for.
Malcolm will truly be in the middle.
I think what they were going for was that he's the middle child of the house because Francis isn't there.
Yeah. Because
But
Francis. Okay.
before we get into the specific dynamics, can we do you want to like take turns describing the characters?
We could try. I don't know how well I'm
Okay.
going to be able to describe
All right.
characters
So
right now.
let's start with like the 3 boys that live at home. So I'll just describe the 3 boys. You have Malcolm, who is in the middle. Malcolm's about, I want to say like 7th grade, 6th grade maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like 12. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Definitely like a preteen. And he's like incredibly smart. He's he's in like the super smart kid class. The what do they call him?
The Krellboins?
Yeah, the Krellboins. Does anybody say that in real life?
No, I think that's just like a thing that's in
Just a
that
thing
show.
in this show? Yeah. What does Krellboin mean? What is that?
It's probably just like I don't know what the word means, but it's probably just like the name of the group, like within the show. I don't think it's like a common turn of phrase to describe a smart kid as a Krellboin. I think that's just like what they call the class at this particular school.
Yeah, but what the hell does that mean?
I don't know.
I'm googling this.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just a derogatory term for gifted students that's used in Malcolm in the Middle. Huh. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only definition.
Oh, it says inspired by the nerdy character Seymour Krellboin of Little Shop of Horrors. So there's a character named Krellboin. That's what I thought. I had a feeling that it was like a trope. Anyways. Yeah, he's in like the super smart kids class, and he's super smart. Whereas his slightly older brother, who goes to the same school as him, Reese, is a complete fucking idiot, and he's like the school bully. And then there's Dewey, the little mischievous younger sibling who's got to be like what, like 9?
I think he's like 7.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's like 7. He's like a little kid, little kid, and I don't even know how to describe his character at this point in the show because he's really unpredictable. He's just kind of like he's just like trying to like be himself and like be a little kid, but his brothers are like constantly tormenting him and getting him involved in their shenanigans.
Weird to think that he's gonna end up being like slightly older than like Malcolm is now, even
Yeah.
by the end of the show.
Oh, the aging in this show is fucking insane. But like it's handled super well. It's handled so goddamn well. Like you'd think a lot of like the characters like just wouldn't work once they reach a certain age, but like they manage to like evolve and develop over time. It's handled beautifully and seamlessly. Because it also it happens in real time. You know what I mean? Like each
Yeah.
season is a year, and it's not like all of a sudden they're like super older. You definitely notice certain things like their voice or whatever, but like the characters themselves just develop so slowly and like smoothly. It's not like you just like wake up one day and he's like fucking 2 years older. You know?
Yeah, I mean, in this kind of sitcom where like you're following people growing up, that is an important aspect. I think my favorite like family-based sitcom, at least before Malcolm, because spoiler alert, I really like this fucking show. But well, I guess we'll see how much I like it going forward. But season 1 at least
Yeah.
made a very good impression. Uh, Boy Meets World was probably my favorite before this point. And that was also a show where the characters had to age throughout. Obviously, like it starts with them in like the last year of middle school, and it ends with them graduating college. So
Holy
they
shit!
definitely,
I didn't know it went for that long.
it went for I think same number of seasons as Malcolm, 7.
7.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, the characters had to go through aging in that one. I think they handled that quite well. Like it's kind of like it's subtle changes. Like they keep their tropes remain pretty much the same, but like they're just written in a way that like makes the growth feel natural and like oh yeah, they're older now. They're not like just acting like just how they acted as kids, but like the general like notes are still there. It's just like matures naturally.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this show fares in that regard. That's something I'm curious about that I don't get to see yet. Well, the more on this as it develops.
Right. So we've described the three main boys. Then do you want to describe the parents?
There's Lois. She's a mom. She's very angry. She's a very angry woman.
She's an angry, borderline abusive mom, but like it's everything she does is almost always feels warranted, even if like from like a psychology perspective, like you can acknowledge that the way she responds to what her kids do is like objectively destructive. You understand where she's coming from always. She's always like screaming and yelling. At one point she like literally like throws her back out from yelling so loud. But
Oh my
the
god.
boys, I guess I didn't even like go deep enough into this. All 3 of those boys are like fucking evil. They're huge troublemakers. Their neighbors hate them. Like just everybody hates these children, and they're like far from, the perfect like sitcom kids.
For sure.
Even like in like your average sitcom, like the kids are usually not perfect, you know what I mean? Or like there's always like the kids next door, and like like there's the dad next door is like there's like so much better on paper, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, we got to be more like them, you know what I mean? But like in this show, they're just like god awful, and they abandon like any desire to like make them, decent human beings.
Yeah. Not a lot of decent human beings to go around, but like in their own way, they are, I
Right.
think.
Now, Hal.
Hal.
If anybody lives
But
under a
anyway,
rock,
so Hal
anyone
is
who
this. The thing about Hal is, let me tell you about Hal. Okay,
okay,
he's the best.
yeah, he's the best character in the show, in my opinion.
He's a chemistry teacher.
Shut the hell up. So yeah, he's
He
played
really
by
loves
Bryan
his
Cranston.
family.
He's played by Bryan Cranston, and the joke is that he's Heisenberg. Obviously, there's the conspiracy theory that Malcolm in the Middle is a prequel to Breaking Bad. Very popular, like meme fan theory.
How the fuck do they even explain that? Besides it just being Bryan Cranston, is there like reasoning that they give? Is there like logic that
There's just
they
like
go down the road?
there's just like moments in Malcolm in the Middle that people like take out of context and like you could like perceive it as foreshadowing.
There
even
was like
Breaking Bad.
one clip that I saw that like he literally was Walter White
Yeah.
when he's talking about killing somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that that's in a later season. I think we didn't see that episode, but he said like we'll kill her or something, and like it was like
So there's a hilarious context to that as
exactly
well.
Walter White.
Yeah, he's Bryan Cranston, but he's a very different role from Walter White. Like it's to the point where when I watched Malcolm in the Middle long before I watched Breaking Bad, and when I first started watching Breaking Bad, I felt physically uncomfortable because I was watching like Malcolm's goofy dad like cook meth in the desert and kill people. And I was just like I just couldn't like watch it for a while. But after just
No, that's
adjusting,
Hal. Hal wouldn't do that. That's
yeah,
Hal there.
it did not take me long to adjust though because he's very clearly just a completely different person, and it's very difficult to see Hal as Heisenberg or vice versa once you become familiar with both characters.
Bryan Cranston is just a very talented actor.
Yeah, 100%. I haven't seen anything of him besides small
Malcolm in the
roles
Middle
in
and
TV
Breaking
shows.
Bad.
Yeah, I've seen Malcolm in the Middle and Breaking Bad, and I saw his appearance on Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was great. But other than that, I don't like know much about what he's up to. But
He's
even
probably in some
so,
movies and shit. I don't know. He seems
yeah,
pretty famous.
he's got movies. He's in a couple of, like comedy movies. But yeah, he's a big guy. He's got roles. You know, his career didn't die after Breaking Bad by any means. But
Can we just start Can we turn this podcast into the Bryan Cranston podcast? We just like watch his entire filmography.
yeah, honestly,
Yeah. Fuck you, Kathy. We're not reviewing any of the movies you want to review anymore. We're just gonna review Bryan Cranston movies and TV shows
Brian Cat,
forever. The Bryan Caston,
the Brian Podcranston,
the
or just
Pod
called
Cranston.
Podcranston. Perfect.
That's the name of the show, Pod Cranston.
Podcranston.
Yeah.
We should honestly. I would do
Honestly?
that. I would do that with you. If we did that on Wednesdays, where we didn't do Omnitrix Radio, we did the Pod Cranston.
Oh my fucking
But
god.
we don't need more review shows. We have way too many of those.
You know, the whole point of making Omnitrix Radio bi-weekly was to start a show that was not a pre-existing media review show.
But Pod Cranston.
But Pod Cranston, though?
Hold on. I'm gonna look on Spotify.
I guarantee you Pod Cranston does not exist.
It's so obvious though. You know what I mean? If you're thinking Bryan Cranston podcast, right? Somebody clearly has had this idea before, right?
Yes, I'm sure.
Pod Cranston. Nope. I look it up and I get the Procrastinators podcast.
And well, that might be your search algorithm doing some stuff, but
I know I don't see any Pod Cranston.
My favorite show, the Pod Cranston podcast, starring Ben Saint.
Yeah. No, fuck that guy. Fuck Ben Saint.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, it kind of fuck him. No, like not really. Like we love you, Ben Saint, but also fuck you, Ben Saint.
Like he's an asshole, but like it's not that serious. And like he's kind of
I just can't find myself. I can't find it in my heart to be mad at the guy who made Graduation.
What?
It's a Kanye West album. It's the meme. There's like a clip of Trump speaking. He's like, "Well, I disagree with a lot of things he has to say, but I just can't be mad at the man who made Graduation."
Yes, based.
Fucking based.
Sick. Who could be mad at that man? Kanye West, great guy. I can't think of anything he's done wrong.
Yeah. I do not want to talk about Kanye West right now. It would just take up this whole podcast. Like I'm a Kanye West fan. You know what I mean? So I have so much to say. But what was it? What were we talking about? We're talking about Hal. We didn't even describe Hal's character.
So Hal, he's a rapper, a very famous rapper.
Oh.
He recently made some off-color comments about Jewish people.
Hal Gay West. Oh, dude, I wish we named these like we did like Omnitrix radio episodes because there's already so many banger jokes in this.
Podcranston.
Hey, if you're listening to this, make Podcranston. Just do it. Steal our idea. And
Yeah, somebody make Podcranston.
the only credit we ask for is like in episode 1, you're like, yeah, so these issue crew losers came up with this name. That's all we ask for.
Now somebody's gonna like use it in the wrong way. They're not gonna be broad enough into Bryan Cranston's career. It's just gonna be like an episode by episode Breaking Bad podcast. And they're gonna call it Podcranston. They're gonna waste the name.
True, probably. Actually, no. Yeah, fuck you guys. Unless, okay, if you could use that name if you follow the exact premise of reviewing Bryan Cranston content, like broadly,
yes,
not just like one Bryan
his
Cranston.
entire filmography. If you're talking TV, you got to do season reviews because there's many movies and TV shows to get through. Anyway, enough about Podcranston.
How?
He's the wacky, funny dad, which is
the
best genre of character in fictional media.
I don't know. I don't even know how to describe his demeanor because, like, when you say like wacky, funny dad, like a million characters pop into your head, right? But he is like uniquely funny and pathetic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he fits the tropes pretty well. Not that he doesn't play them masterfully because he's fucking Bryan Cranston, but I think his character traits are very much directly comparable to that of like U Neutron, for example.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's just like to another extreme, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know like a wackier dad that's not just like unfunny, you know?
Timmy's dad.
Anyone? Kenny's dad?
Timmy's dad in Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, true, yeah. Good point.
I love silly dads.
I still think Hal is much more wild. Because that's animated. That's animated. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's like crazy like
and Hal matches that energy with no animation needed in real life.
Right.
He matches that chaoticness.
One thing I have to say before we completely get off the Breaking Bad thing. There's one time where he's describing sex.
He says the word chemistry. Oh my god, he said it.
Chemistry. And hearing Bryan Cranston say the word chemistry out of like it like caught me off guard. He was like chemistry, like episode 1 of Breaking Bad. It was just like holy shit, chemistry.
What if Hal
it just felt like for like a split second, like he slipped into like Walter White, you know, like his inner Walter White was there.
Yeah, he's very good at switching between the roles. We got to see that in the Breaking Bad alternate ending.
Yeah,
it's high quality. I love that.
Did you watch that now that you've seen Malcolm in the Middle?
I had watched it already, but I watched it again having seen Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. It's very funny. It's a hilarious thing. But we could talk about Breaking Bad and Malcolm in the Middle's their connections all day. Who else is in the show? Francis.
Let me tell you.
Is Francis currently your favorite character?
Well, I can't say until the end.
Oh yeah, true. Sorry.
But yeah, Francis is great. He's the oldest. He's in military school. He's a bad kid. He's pretty cool. Good movie, good character.
Yeah, and so like the premise of him is that he's like what, like 17. He's like almost an adult. He's an adolescent, and he's in military school because he was so bad. He was like so poorly behaved that his mother Lois sent him to military school, and essentially there's obviously, you know, every sitcom has like multiple plots going on at once, and all of Francis's plots take place in military school, and it's like his antics with
Sometimes he comes home and his
yeah,
plots are at home.
every now and then he, you know, Francis is visiting, and it's like a nice little it almost feels like a crossover when Francis visits, you know what I mean? We're so
A
used to him.
crossover between that Malcolm in the Middle and the Francis show.
Yeah. When we see Francis, it's almost always when it's like from military school, or it's when he's on the phone with somebody. Oftentimes the boys will like phone Francis. They'll call Francis for like
for like advice. Yeah.
or like it usually like somehow like his advice and like what they talk about on the phone somehow like he like somehow connects that to his military school experience. They'll be like, oh, we won't believe what mom's doing. Is like, yeah, what, or like the advice that he gives will be somehow like something he learned in military school. You know what I mean? Like during that episode, he'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, we're actually dealing with similar problems here. Listen, this is what you got to do. Yeah, but that's obviously all these explanations are oversimplified because there's so much depth to like all of these characters, and like any combination of two characters like has like a super unique dynamic that's explored and just, you know, done super well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like any combination of two characters, I
Yeah,
could think something about how they go together.
Hal with any one of the boys, Hal and Lois with any one of the boys, Francis with any one of the boys, Hal and Francis, you know what I mean?
Hal
Like
and Francis, bro. That's an underrated one. That's a
it
good
is.
one.
I think Hal and Reese is really underrated. But actually, I don't even know if there has been any Hal and Reese action lately.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think any
Any
this
two of the
season.
boys, obviously. Either one of the boys with Dewey or Francis and Reese, or sorry, Malcolm and Reese together. Just all super
Yeah,
like funny,
Malcolm and
funny
Reese
dynamic.
is like the most common, I think, in
Yeah.
terms of putting the main cast together in a plot.
Well, it's really Malcolm, Reese, and Dewey, but Dewey's just less involved because he's
Yeah,
little.
he's too little to be involved. Too much of a baby.
Yeah, true.
I liked the episode where like Dewey is just like in his own little world and we like get a glimpse. It's pretty good. That's a good episode.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell you this, but if you don't buy me, you'll die.
I like that Dewey doesn't always have his own subplot, but when he does, it's always really funny. And each subplot is almost like a different show because like even just like in its writing, they approach each character's subplots with like different attitudes and like writing philosophies. You could almost make a spin-off about any character in this show and like their life afterward.
I would watch the Francis show.
You'll be very pleased with Francis and the evolution of his character.
Good. I don't know. It's hard to think of like just things to talk about when we're talking about a TV show,
Yeah,
especially one that's like this is not a plot-driven fucking TV show. It's just like however many episodes we watch, just like 15 whatever numbered isolated stories.
yeah. It's not really why can I not think of the word?
It's not. I know there's.
It's not episodic.
Episodic. That is the word. I thought episodic was the word for what it is. What is the word for what it is?
The word for what it is. I don't know.
There's a word for it. There's episodic. Serialized. That's
serialized.
it.
Yes, serialized. We are not good at this, like, you know, media critic thing.
No, it's almost strange that we do like a whole podcast where we critique episodes of Ben 10.
Or any of us do podcasts where we criticize anything.
Hey, me and Kathy criticize movies very well.
No, but it's interesting. It's fun. It's fun to just hear what like two random people who like the show have to say about the show.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is. Malcolm has like very good writing. It's a very good cast. Some very talented child actors.
The cast is flawless. Like,
Yeah,
there's not a single character that I could imagine being recasted in this show.
I don't know. I don't think I could either. Fuck. God damn it.
What are can I ask you who your favorite side character is?
Mm, I don't know. I feel like I only remember one.
Well, there's Stevie. There's like Richie and like his friends, like those, the degenerates.
Yeah, the degenerates. Who's Stevie?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Maybe I remember the character, but just not the name.
I am Stevie.
Oh, okay. I forgot his name, but yeah, I know that
How did
character.
you forget his name?
I don't know, man.
Alright, whatever. Yeah, Stevie. There's Stevie, Richie, it's Circus, and what's the other guy? It's Richie, Circus, and
I
one other
don't
kid.
fucking know. I couldn't tell
Richie,
you.
Circus, and some other guy. They're just like three, like,
Three
what's the word?
goons.
Three goons. Yes, three juvenile delinquents that kind of just terrorize their hometown. That Francis used to be, Francis used to be part of their group, but now that he's in military school, he's not anymore. There's the other kids in military school, which I unfortunately don't remember any of their names, and I never have. There's
Yeah,
the
there's the one black guy who's like Francis's friend.
yeah, there's the black
Kind
dude,
of.
and then there's that one guy with that one dude with the blonde hair, who's always like, Francis, I can't believe like the guy that talks funny.
No, I don't recall that character.
Okay, well then there's Spangler. Would you consider Spangler a
Spangler,
side
of
character?
course. Well, I mean,
He's definitely not a main character, but
yeah, any character who's not in the family is not a main character per se.
right. But he's in like every episode because he's like the antagonist of every Francis segment or Francis subplot.
Yeah. So he is in it very often, but it's like the main cast are the people who are credited in the theme song, and Spangler is certainly not credited in the theme song.
That would be funny. They just put Spangler in there. Spangler is like a perfect. He's so believable.
He's
A lot of
great.
like like military generals are like in media are kind of just like too over the top, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just feel they feel like this feels like they're trying so hard. Spangler is like just the right amount of like toxic masculinity and but like it's just perfectly balanced with his humanity. Who else is there? Who else is in this show? I guess there's like Julie, there's the other Krellboynes, and then there's
The teacher.
Yeah, the teacher.
Yeah.
The teacher is fucking insufferable, and I love it. I love every moment of it. Did you ever have a teacher like that? Just with that kind of energy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You were never. I guess you were
It's
never
kind
in
of
any smart
wacky.
kid classes, were you?
Well, I was in like a whole smart kid school, so
Was everyone there? Was it like a Krellboyne school?
no, it
No.
was not, but it seemed like it.
I've never been in any like Krellboyne circles either, so I don't really know. But I've definitely had like teachers like that. Teachers who are just like, I have no idea how to describe her.
Yeah, that's why I'm
what is-
having trouble thinking about if I've had a teacher like that, because I can't think
Yeah.
of what traits
Like-
define this teacher character.
It's just that like if you have that energy, you do.
Yeah, that was funny. They like manipulated her into paying their hospital bills once. That was funny.
That was really funny.
Well, I guess I'm going back to military school.
What?
What? I don't want you to go.
What is this bit?
That was from the show. When they fucking do the show to get the teacher to pay the medical bill.
Oh.
Dewey and
Right.
Francis do like a routine.
Yeah, Francis like hurts Dewey. He just like squeezes him as hard as he can. So he like starts crying. That's kind of fucked up, I'm not gonna lie.
Is that what it was? I thought they were just kind of
Yeah.
like on the same page.
No.
Like they had done this bit before. That's what it
No,
seemed
he
like
was-
to me.
No,
They
it
like
was.
discussed it. They like whispered about it for a minute before they did it.
Yeah, no, they did. I don't think Dewey was in on it. Because I remember specifically, it shows him like squeezing Dewey's back, and Dewey saying like, "Oh, it hurts." And he's like, "I know it's supposed." I feel maybe Dewey was in on it, but he needed that extra push of physical pain to actually cry.
Perhaps.
I can do this all day, Royally.
So could I. It's funny because like nobody understands because all the
Yeah.
silence is gone.
Yeah.
Just goes from us talking about
Hilarious.
Dewey and Francis to I could do this all day. So
Yeah.
could I.
I feel like any discussion I can think of right now would tap into the wrap-up questions.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll readdress the wrap up questions just to do the format of the show. But like, if we got to talk about them, then let's do it.
Yeah. So I want to know who your favorite character is.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we just do the wrap up questions, I feel like that would keep us on for a
Yeah,
while.
it would.
One of my favorite characters, Francis, 100%.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
everything Francis does is just like the best part of any episode.
Significantly more so than Hal.
Maybe not significantly more so, but like the Hal's great, but I think they give Francis more to do, and they're both like equally great.
Yeah, for sure.
So Francis just wins out by having more attention.
I would probably agree with you as far as season 1 goes. But later on, I just have so many like fond Hal memories that I could not possibly fathom saying anyone else is my favorite character. But as far as this season goes, I definitely like Francis the best.
Yeah, season 1 this season, Francis just had like a lot of the strongest stories. Like I think the best bit, like we had a conversation about this bit before because it's just like so funny and it works on so many levels. Where it's just Malcolm and the kids are being interrogated by Lois about some red dress that got burned that they revealed the episode that it was actually at the end of the episode it was actually Hal, and it's like haha funny. But Lois is doing this interrogation, and like as Malcolm and Co are trying to get through it, they're talking to Francis and like telling him what's going on and like asking him for advice. And during this whole exchange, the like entire student body of the fucking military school has gathered behind Francis, and they're fucking following the scenario. Like they're listening to the plot of a Malcolm in the Middle episode through a payphone, and they're super invested. And then when Lois like becomes privy to Francis's presence in the scenario over the phone, they all disperse.
Yeah.
They all run away.
My favorite one is where he's just like, "Good news, guys! They saved the TV," and then they're like, "Yeah, let's fucking go!"
Let's go. They're so invested.
It's hilarious, guys. It's funny because that would never happen.
But it would happen.
Do you think people would care that much?
Maybe not that many people.
Obviously, it's exaggerated.
It's exaggerated for sure, but I could see that's a pretty wacky scenario. So I could see a couple students like gathering behind, being like, "What's going on?
Right.
What happened with the TV?"
Yeah, no, that's one of the funniest things. It's Francis's like connection to, the main story outside of his military school plots is always like funny. It's always done perfectly. Like he's like at home just enough where you don't like feel completely disconnected from him as far as the his relationship with the main cast goes. Well, not that he's not the cast.
all of his brothers just like love him so much, and it's so cute and genuine. Like they try to act cool, but like they all love their older brother Francis.
Right, and Francis
there was
is,
that
like,
cute
the
little
unifying force.
cute little bit where like Malcolm was talking to the camera like he does. We haven't mentioned that yet. That this is a fourth wall break show. Malcolm talks to the audience sometimes. And Malcolm's talking to the audience about like how much he loves Francis and how excited he is that he's home for the weekend. And then he just like turns to Francis. He's like, "What's up?" It's really cute. Like they're putting on a cool persona, but they're all just like they all love their older brother, and it's very cute and genuine. And it felt they made Francis the antagonist for an episode, and that felt real weird.
Which episode are you talking about?
The episode where he rats on them about Dewey's bike.
Oh yeah, well they turn against him at one point.
Yeah, but
I think
by the end of the episode, they like team up to save him from Lois. But like for a good chunk of the episode, Francis is the villain, and it feels weird.
it does feel weird, but I think they did it pretty well.
Like he like summons the goon squad to find this letter and to
I
like
still think-
intimidate them.
I still think throughout that side though, like you have sympathy for Francis.
For sure.
And you don't like, and it's still like left up in the air, like whether or not he actually did it. You know what I mean? Or like what his real motive was. Because it would be too out of character for him to rat on them with no, without a good justification.
Well, his justification was that he was put under pressure by Lois.
The pressure of him like not being able to come home. You know what I mean? Which would ultimately be bad for him and his brothers. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that is what happens at the end. I
Yeah.
remember now. That's kind of what they explain. But it's like for that 10 minutes of the episode where it's like Francis is the bad guy, he ratted on them, he called his fucking goon friends to go like steal this letter. It's like it feels weird that they're doing this.
It felt a little weird, yeah.
There's the episode where Francis has like an entire like years long relationship in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That
Well, I'm
was
sure
a good bit.
Holy shit, I just completely zoned out.
I'm sorry for saying that was a good bit. I really
Yeah.
stole your thunder there.
I literally just completely lost my train of thought when you said that. I have no idea why.
Fuck.
I need to stop taking medication.
I need to stop taking medication.
You need to start taking medication, buddy.
Hey, oh.
Yeah, I guess we're doing wrap-up questions. My favorite character? Yeah, Francis. I mean, I already said that. I did say that. Fuck. No, it's Francis, but it's definitely Hal. I want to give an honorable mention to Hal. Because Hal is just so fucking hilarious. Hal, my favorite episode for Hal, like, was definitely the robot one.
The robot one was very good.
That was such a good
Hal.
fucking episode. The premise was like basically Lois goes to visit Francis because he's injured. I think that was the first episodic like sequence of events that we got in the show. Besides, obviously, episode 1 like setting the stage for a lot of the Malcolm's school life. But in that episode, remember when Francis was left in the wilderness all by himself, and then the next episode is like, oh yeah, they did that to me, and now I'm like injured. That was like the first time in this whole show, obviously with the exception of episode 1, where they like
I
had
didn't
like
even
a
realize
direct-
that connection. I just thought
You
like,
didn't
oh,
realize
his appendix burst or some shit or whatever it was.
They were literally like, dude, you almost died. You were in the wilderness all by yourself for 3 days. But yeah. Basically Lois goes to visit Francis because he's injured, and yeah, and Hal essentially is left without Lois, and he's like super sad and super lonely, and essentially he gets crazier and crazier and more insane the longer he goes without Lois. And Malcolm and his Krellboyne friends are also building like a killer robot for like a robotics competition. And Hal like basically creates like this monstrous machine that like shoots bees out of a cannon.
It does shoot bees. That is its
Creates a
functionality.
deadly robot. And the funniest part of it is that he names it Lois 2.
Oh my god.
At the side of it, Lois 2.
Lois too.
Oh shit! Side character. We forgot Craig.
Oh, the weird dude from the grocery store.
Yeah, Riely.
Played by Mr. Bitters from Big Time Rush.
Yeah, I still can't believe they put you in Malcolm in the Middle. It's crazy.
It's me. Haha.
Riley, the joke is that you're fat. He's fat
Yeah.
too.
Got it.
So by calling him you, I am pointing out the fact that you are fat.
Got it. I get it now.
All right. Just making sure. Just making sure you knew.
Are you sure you understand that you're fat? Are you sure?
Are you sure you know that you're fat?
You're sure. You're sure.
All right. Yeah, Craig. I mean, he's Lois's coworker at the grocery store who's like madly in love with him and awful at hiding it. Or madly in love with her. Sorry.
That he's madly in love with her and awful at hiding it, but Hal just like can't tell.
Yeah, Hal is painfully oblivious. He's like, "Oh, hello, Craig."
Except for when he goes crazy. I think he figures it out when he's crazy.
Does he?
He like tells him to like stay away from his house. And I think that was because he figured it out in his craziness.
What implied that? I think it was because he was telling he was mad at Craig for telling him what to do. He was like, "Hal, put down the machine." And yeah,
Maybe.
I think he was just impulsive, like, "No, fuck you. I don't want you coming around here anymore." I love that, like, it's just established that like Craig just like comes, like just shows up at the house. He's like the fucking like Kramer of Malcolm in the Middle.
Well, I hope he doesn't go to the Laugh Factory anytime soon.
Yeah. The guy who plays Craig. Can you think of anything else when you see that Laugh Factory background? I know Dave Chappelle made a bit about this, but anytime I see a comedian at Laugh Factory, like I can't think of anything except that, you know, the famous Michael Richards moment. It's fucking hilarious, dude.
Beautiful. Whatever happened to that guy?
He was in
around somewhere.
Curb Your Enthusiasm when they did the Seinfeld reunion.
Oh shit!
Do you know about Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I know Curb Your Enthusiasm exists. I don't know much about it. I didn't know they did a Seinfeld reunion.
Can I very, very quickly explain part of the premise that makes the Seinfeld reunion make sense?
Okay, what's the premise?
So Larry David plays himself, like his character is the real Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld, after Seinfeld ends. And like they mention it multiple times. And essentially like what was I going to say? They talk about doing a Seinfeld reunion, and within the plot of Curb Your Enthusiasm, which takes place in real life, where Seinfeld is a show that Larry David created, they get everybody together and like they make like a whole plot about them doing a Seinfeld reunion, and they actually do it, and it's a really weird thing because it's like a Seinfeld reunion that takes place within another show and is made within another show. So they're like basically a show about them making a show, but the final product does exist as a Seinfeld reunion in some capacity. I'm doing a horrible job explaining this, but I think you know what I mean.
Wait, so like this whole show is about a Seinfeld reunion?
No, that's like one season.
Oh, okay.
It's just about Larry David and like his it's about his real life and his relationships, like his marriage and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of like celebrities that Larry David like has worked with that show up on the show, and then and play themselves. Like the show takes place in real life. The funniest part is that the weirdest thing for me is that Bryan Cranston plays like a dentist or some shit on Seinfeld, and then Bryan Cranston also plays a therapist on Curb Your Enthusiasm, even though Seinfeld is a show that exists in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason just TMs me. He says, "Oh my lord, it's an exaggerated version of his life." Just say that. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty clear. What I'm saying is, as far as like the canon works and like its relationship to Seinfeld, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Kind of like the "My Name Is Earl" Raising Hope thing, or like how
they
like
really can't make a decision on what that is on Raising Hope. It's so weird because I don't know how far you are in the show if you've watched any more.
I've watched like one more episode.
Okay, because they can't make up their mind. So in the first episode, there's that news bit where they directly reference Earl and his list, like like it's a real thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there are some references to Camden County, as being a place in the
Yeah.
Raising Hope world. But then there is an episode where the premise is that Bert starts gardening for a TV studio. And then he kicks the guy who runs NBC in the balls and says, "That's for canceling My Name is Earl." So-
Do you think that could possibly just be like a one-off like fourth wall break?
that might be what it is.
Yeah. I hate it when shows do that. One thing for me, I only watched like a season and a half of The Sopranos. I'm gonna get back into it. But in Sopranos there's they share main cast members with like characters from Goodfellas. And there are literal like main characters from Goodfellas where the same actors play the main characters of Sopranos, and they acknowledge the existence of Goodfellas, the movie, like 100 fucking times within the first season. So it's like one of the main characters from Goodfellas is like, oh yeah, that Goodfellas movie, eh? And it's just like really awkward. Am I the only one who gets bothered by that sort of thing?
Sorry, you have to describe that again.
You fucking idiot. Okay.
One more time.
So there are characters in The Sopranos, okay?
Oh, yeah, there are characters in The Sopranos. They're also in Goodfellas.
Yes, and these actors are main characters in both The Sopranos and Goodfellas, right? And within The Sopranos, they acknowledge Goodfellas multiple times because it's about the modern Italian mafia and in like the 90s, and Goodfellas was a very like important like cultural turning point for that because it was like one of the biggest like pieces of media depicting that sort of lifestyle. So like it was relevant to these people. So they mention Goodfellas like multiple times, like by name, and they even talk about like the director and like its cultural impact, despite the people mentioning it themselves being played by main cast members of Goodfellas.
That is a little weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's like the
silly.
closest thing I can think of is like when Deadpool talks about Ryan Reynolds, but that's because he's Deadpool.
Right.
Different thing. That does feel like it would feel weird.
Yeah. I'm so awful at explaining these things. I'm so sorry, guys, for the tangent. Favorite episode, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this podcast fucking sucks. We did bad today.
Hey, whatever. Whatever, man. Fake it,
Whatever,
till
man. What's your favorite
What is
episode?
There's so many, dude. I love every episode. There was not a bad episode on this season.
Malcolm in the Middle, season 1, episode guide.
Oh, we didn't even mention the roller skate one. The roller skating episode
The
was
funniest shot in TV history. I can't think. Whenever I think about that shot, I just start laughing maniacally. The shot where fucking Hal turns to Malcolm and the entire background cuts out. It's just like a fucking black void. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's such a good fucking shot. I have to laugh for like several minutes whenever I just think about that shot.
This show also does a lot of like creative things, like just as far as like the shots go and like the way things are filmed, like in effects and whatnot. I wouldn't say as much in season 1, but later on, like there's a lot of just hilarious shots and just editing and filming is done in a particular way that enhances the comedy.
Yeah. Did you say a favorite episode?
I can't, man. I can't do it.
You have to
I
do
can't
one.
do this. I
You
can't
have
kill
to.
baby Hitler.
You have to kill baby Hitler.
Probably the robot one. When I look at these plot summaries, none of the I can't see, or sorry, when I look at these like titles and thumbnails, like I can't see what the Francis plot is.
I mean, I have the Wikipedia article open for the season, and they have like plot summaries under the episodes.
Ugh. Yeah, I can't pick. I guess I'll just go with I'll go with the robot one.
The bots and the bees.
Yeah.
Yep. Mine is probably Red Dress. Like, I just love that so much. Like, there's so much to love in this episode. Like, it's a great Lois episode. It's an amazing Francis episode. I love the military school joke with the payphone. It works so well on so many levels. It's so funny. This is it's just like what the biggest impression that was made on me in that show is just like how genius that bit was.
Honestly, you're kind of moving me over. I want to go with the red dress too. Because the bots and the bees was also perfect, but there was just a little bit more shock value, which is not a bad thing at all. But there's overall, I think there was just less to it.
Jason just sent me a meme. It's the Hal shot,
Yeah,
and it says
he sent me that
he
too.
sent you the same meme. When I'm eating dinner with my family, and my son says the words that a demon told me it would say to identify itself 12 years ago.
Hate it when that happens.
Wow, that's pretty good. So I guess rate the season out of 10.
10.
10?
Yeah, it's a 10 for sure.
I don't know if
Every
it's quite
season
a
of
10.
the show is a 10 out of 10 for me.
I don't know if it's quite a 10. Very strong. Very good. I don't know if it's quite perfect. I've always said that this show does a good job of not feeling too much like this, but at the end of the day, your main character is Malcolm. And I just have a hard time watching sitcoms about kids who are too young. Like they gotta be like 14 at least before I can give a shit about what they're doing.
Clipping this out of context real quick. Hold on.
Okay. But it's just like, yeah, just like following plots with like kids is
For
kind of
me, I
hard for me
feel
to
like
get into.
for me, I feel like they're funny enough though.
It's very good. Like it's as good as it can be. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it loses like a 0.5 for me for just being like in general. I would rather be following characters that were a little bit older. So I assume later seasons will fix that problem as time passes and thus the characters age. But I'm gonna give this season a 9.5 out of 10.
Fair enough.
I'm so curious as to what they're gonna do with Francis once military school is no longer logical because he's grown too old to be in school.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild.
It's awesome. It's
Great.
amazing.
How long is he in military school? Like what season does that end?
I'm not even gonna say.
I'm just gonna Google it if you don't say it, so you might as well
Okay,
say this.
it's like season 4, I think, or like season 3.
Okay. Okay, I see. So we got a couple seasons more of that, and then we'll see what comes next. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, season 3, like mid season 3.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, that'll be
According to the
interesting.
first thing that popped up on Google, it might not be
Yep.
true.
Well, who would lie on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, who
You
would go on the
think
internet?
people just
for
go
a
on the
plot?
internet and lie? It never happens. Oh, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
How
true.
long have we been going?
Wait. I have something to say.
What, Kathy? You were supposed to stay muted, Kathy. What do you want, Kathy?
So,
Yeah,
Tammy
Kathy.
and Riley have just finished reviewing the first season of Bryan Cranston's, I guess, second best well-known show. And me and Riley in the future are going to review Paul Aaron's second best show.
Shut the fuck up, Kathy.
What do you mean, shut up? It's a good bit.
It's so funny. I'm making illusions. The episode about BoJack Horseman we're gonna do. Oh, look at me. I'm Kathy.
I'm just gonna say we were going to do BoJack Horseman. Jason, say the N-word, please.
Don't tell Jason to say the N-word. Oh, he laughed. Okay. I assume he said the N-word in the privacy of his own home.
Yeah.
he had to
Let's
hang up
fucking go!
in peace. But all right, Demigloom, where can our listeners find you?
Hey, man. Find me on. I always do Twitter first, but I'm not on Twitter anymore. So
So
just look
gay.
up Demigloom on YouTube. Watch my main channel. There'll be more up There'll be more upload on there. There will
Look
be
up
more
Demi and the
uploaded on
Goons
there
if you like
someday.
silly, funny meme soundtracks. That's the one she should be
No.
plugging because she makes income from it. Everybody go watch Demi and the Goons. It's great.
No, watch Demigloom.
And by watching Demi and the Goons, you support Demigloom financially.
I'm doing a Patreon too. By the time this is out, the Patreon will be announced publicly. Fucking go to Patreon. Just look up Demigloom on Patreon. Is there a Patreon search engine?
I think. Is it not just patreon.com/demigloom?
Yeah, it's not for some stupid reason. It's patreon.com/user?u equals 644311836.
Demigloom, once you launch the page, I'm pretty sure it'll be patreon.com/demigloom if you said it that way.
I did launch the page. I haven't posted anything on there,
What?
but I did launch the page.
If you had launched the page, it would be patreon.com/whatever your name was.
No, I launched the page. It's public.
If you go to patreon.com/demigloom, it doesn't redirect.
Let me check. Nope. 404. Oh no, looks like you got lost.
Fuck?
Yeah. Whatever.
Can I dox you?
Me? No.
Can I dox you then?
Me? No.
You can dox my Discord tag. That's what I should be plugging. Join fucking Demigloom's debate club.
Yeah, you know what? I will dox your Discord tag. DEMIGLOOM #9496.
Yeah, 9496. Add me
Yeah.
on Discord, Demigloom 9496.
Contact her for music commissions.
Yeah. Contact me for podcast commissions. I
And
do
apparently-
podcasts
Yeah.
for
Apparently,
Yeah.
Jello.
$15 a week.
Apparently, Jello wants me to dox him because he's just sent me a DM telling me to do so. Yeah,
I can dox Jello.
yeah, do it. Do it, you fucking pussy.
Jason, guys. Jason, he lives in a house.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That narrows it down.
Jason and his mother lived on a house on a hill.
They lived on the house? Why not in the house?
Shut the fuck. It's a figure of speech.
It's not. I don't think it is.
You know where that's from, right?
No.
You suck.
What is that from?
Binding of Isaac.
Oh, I've never played that game.
Demi, why is your profile picture of Femboy?
It's none of your goddamn business. Why my profile picture is a goddamn femboy.
Listen, I prefer Ballfrog over Binding of Isaac.
What the fuck is Ballfrog?
Fake fan.
Fake Florian Himsel fan.
I'm a Macmillan fan.
Fuck you. Florian's better. 'Cause
No.
he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's the funny Austrian
He's still
man.
willing to come on the Brony Initiation podcast, by the way.
What the fuck? We need to get him on the issue crew.
You should hit him up. You know him.
I do.
You can't use Heartsy's name, though.
I know.
Wait, what do you mean?
that makes it harder.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well,
What?
that makes it harder. What?
Hardseed has directly worked with Florian on projects and like knows him.
What projects have they worked together on?
Well, I mean like podcast projects, like the Better
Yeah.
Call Saul and Breaking Bad podcasts.
Why would anybody care about Heartsy Protsy's opinion on like a season of Better Call Saul?
Because Hartsy Frotsy's cool and funny.
He's really
I
not.
wish him the best in his future endeavors, and I hold no ill towards him.
Artsy Protsy can suck my fucking dick.
Heartsy's
How
not really
dare.
funny on podcasts.
I think he is. All right, let's not talk about the talents of fucking Hartsy Protsy.
You know what Artsy Protsy is, though?
Short.
Yes.
True.
And also, he gets no bitches.
Damn, his riz is weak.
You guys are still recording, you know that, right?
Yeah, I'm fully well aware of that,
Hey, why are you guys
Kathy.
still recording? I'm transgender. Shut the fuck up.
That's not something that I say.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I'm transgender. That's she says that every day, like whenever she walks into a room.
And I'm your
What?
freestyle dance.
What do you mean? You've never seen me walk into a room.
Whenever you virtually walk into a room. Alright, I'm fucking go anchor.fm/Riely Megafeed. There's links to everything. Fuck you, it's over. I've been Riely.
I've been Squeebo the last.
Yep.
Can I say slur?
No.
No.
Oh.